All right.
Yeah. Clap on. Clap on.
Off. Clap
Clap
on,
on. Clap off.
The
Clapper.
clapper.
Hey, you know, Henry got a clapper for Christmas.
Did he? No, he's got an interesting Christmas list.
He loved, it's like his favorite. I mean, it's stupid that is his favorite thing, considering the things he got. But
yeah,
he
sometimes
loves
that's
it.
how it goes, though. You know.
Yeah, and he's got it down. I mean, he can clap from somewhere across the house and somehow make it go off. And we can't, for the life of us, clap in his own room and make it go off. It's like he has the frequency dialed in
just the right,
such. It's like
kind of like the Fonz. You could only he could start his motorcycle or whatever.
Yeah, if the Fonz had a clapper, this would be like that.
So what informed him that the clapper existed? I haven't seen one of these things in ages.
I don't know, commercials. I don't.
Right,
I don't
still
know.
have them. Wow, seems like in the age of the A word, clappers would be a little passé.
Well, he has that too in his room. He has an Amazon device, and but here's the thing with the Amazon technology, well, and just smart home technology in general, you really have to have multiple systems in play for it to work properly, right? And any failure of one of those steps in the system will prevent it from functioning properly.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you have, let's start with something basic, like if you have a smart switch of some sort, and or say a smart bulb. Either way, and the switch that controls that outlet maybe is switched off. If you have that kind of outlet, nothing's going to work.
Right.
If you have a smart bulb, but you haven't configured it properly with your whatever the smart system is in your home, whether it's a Hue system or a traditional like built in the Amazon system, or maybe it's a Google based Nest system, or maybe it's something that, I don't know, one of the two things that will interface with the Siri-based system, I like the Apple system, whatever. If you haven't configured it properly, it won't work either. And those things aren't easy to configure. I don't care what anybody tells you.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not easy.
And it's easy for, like, when you do finally get it set up for some kind of situation to happen, they kind of house of cards everything down.
It's like magic.
But it is very much magic.
When I tell her I'm going to bed,
right.
I mean, it's everything. So he just wanted the simplicity of clapping his hands and making the light come on and go off. Like, and I did mock him a little bit, or a lot of it, for wanting that, considering he has all these other smart devices. And he's like, I just want to be able to clap my hands and make it happen. And I get it. There's a beautiful. It sounded like how all the kids are getting back into LPs. Now, not back in, they were never in, but they're discovering LPs and it's tangible and you can hold it and you can.
Let me tell you about encyclopedias.
Let me tell you about switches. Where you just throw the toggle and it works. You have to get up and change the channel. That'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to use a remote.
It's kind of an exercise. It's great.
If I have to get up, then I'm more likely to not change when I'm watching.
And this is called a stamp. And used to, you put this on a piece of paper and a guy would take it like all the way over there.
Well, so, okay. He also, this is also a Henry thing. He also, from a very young age, refused to pause television.
Refused to pause television.
He would neither pause nor forward or anything. He just wants it to happen as it's happening. Like, just the whole live TV
sort
thing,
of a
because that's a little retro.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a little like, I mean,
that's
so
interesting.
So he's kind of staying in his lane, I think. I mean, he's still streaming. Don't get me wrong. He's still streaming, right? He's still using electricity. He hasn't gone completely off. He hasn't moved to the cabin yet. But there's that. So I got to hand it to him.
Gone to nature and sucked the marrow out of life and all these other Dead Poet Society things.
Oh, is that from Dead? Did they
Well, it's not from Dead Poets. It's from
okay.
Henry David Thoreau, and they.
Yeah. How's your day? How's your weekend? How's your month been? How has the month of February been treating
So
you?
far, the month has been short, and
it is the shortest month.
Right, and so far it's it's one day, so that's I don't know if you can get shorter than that. 0 days, but it's already been kind of a crazy one because we looked at our mortgage payment today, it being the first, and it had gone up by $1,000.
Oh, welcome. And did your insurance rates go up or something?
Well, it was the taxes, and since this place was built or was not done being built when we financed it, apparently the assessment happened, and the taxes, which were assessed over just the lot or just the land, are now assessed with the land and the structure, and they went very high.
Did you do that homestead thing when you moved?
Yeah, no, we have that.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, the first time I owned a house, I didn't do that either.
I don't know if I can do it at this point. I think.
You can.
I can still do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I may have missed the vote already. I don't know this.
I mean, I don't know about if it's going to cover this year or not.
No, it won't. It probably won't cover this year. It will probably be for next year. I think that's what happened to me last year. I realized I missed the boat. Actually, the first year, I realized I missed the boat, and then I said, "Oh, well, I'll just do it at some point this year, right?" And then I didn't, and then I realized, I think early last year that I was supposed to do this inside the calendar year, and then I didn't, and then it's like they keep getting me.
Yeah.
By they, I mean my calendar.
Yeah, time.
So you got a nice surprise in your mortgage statement. So wait, so the monthly payment itself went up by like $1,000
because not only
per month.
Yeah.
Did you discover oil or something?
Are
you
wish.
sitting on Texas tea? Like what's
the black gold? No, I'm not. I wasn't even shooting at food. I just brought it up on the screen there, and it was like, hey, guess what? That number that's usually at the front of this, that's one number higher now. Well,
so what do you do?
The thing is that when the taxes went stupid crazy last year, they paid for it out of escrow, and now there's an escrow shortage, and so the escrow shortage has to be split out over 12 months. Plus, the actual payment goes up because of because of the new tax assessment.
You're like almost double.
It's like the double whammy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we're luckily we're going to be able to cover the escrow shortage. So it's only going to be the payment going up a little bit, and we won't have to deal with the other thing spread out because that's ridiculous.
Right, because they'll charge you a fee for that too, right? Like for the benefit of spreading it out over the course of 12 months.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt of that. I don't know if that's an interesting, or
I'm sure it's not an interest thing because then they would have to abide by finance rules of some sort. It's probably a convenience fee.
It's very convenient.
That's what they like to do. Convenience fees.
This is a happy fee.
Right. We're not charging you an interest rate. This is a convenience fee.
This is a friendly happy time fee.
Can you imagine if you owned a store? If any of my customers, I said, "Look, you want to use a credit card? No problem. We're just going to charge you a $75 convenience fee."
It's convenient.
Right.
It's for your convenience.
You could write a check. I'd rather you not because I don't know if it's going to be worth anything. But
I tell you, Henry's going to end up being a check writer with his thing, his retro thing.
I don't
those
know,
big spiral notebook kind of checks, the big bank one or the big business ones.
And he's going to have a slide rule too. Yeah, I don't need a calculator. I'm going to use my slide rule. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry that happened. That's an expensive day.
February so far is not off to a great start.
I received a notice in the mail. This was nice. Towards the end of November, our mortgage year begins middle of December because that's when we closed on the house. Mm-hmm. And back in 2018, and I received a letter in the mail back in November saying, I think it was from the insurance company, and the insurance company. It was the rate increase for the insurance company. That was nice to see. It was crazy, and they give you like 2 weeks. They're like 2 weeks notice. Like, okay, by the way, here's your rate increase, and you need to make sure this gets allocated properly in your escrow payments for your mortgage statement. It's your responsibility.
How is that your
They literally say this in the letter. It's your responsibility to make sure that your mortgage company is like deducting the correct amount or paying the correct amount. Not just deducting the correct amount, not just charging me the right amount, but also paying them the correct amount, right?
So why don't you tell them?
Nothing has changed hands. Like, I haven't refinanced anything. It's the same deal, man. It's the same deal, right? So, and also increased by a gazillion amount of dollars, like crazy expensive, more per month, like hundreds of dollars per month more because of insurance increases.
Oh, man.
And it turns out that there were some massive insurance increases, like homeowners insurance increases across Florida. Yeah, this past year.
I think we've seen that.
It's like, I think it was residual from the past hurricanes and stuff like that. And anyway, there's a lot of stuff to be read out there if you're interested.
Boy, am I.
So it was clear I couldn't fight it. And even if I wanted to fight it, it would mean going out and getting quotes from other insurance companies, like in a 2-week period during COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They tell you this stuff when you
please,
don't.
I want the guy to come in and crawl around my
it.
house. Yeah, that's great. So then I do
find the dead HVAC guy.
Right. Shh, don't look up there. So it finally stopped smelling. So I get online and I find the mortgage company, which is difficult because, how often, I think it was maybe like twice a year I go online to the mortgage company to look for documents. When I'm doing taxes, right? I do it when I'm doing taxes. And then I do it apparently when there's a gun to my head about insurance costs. And so I go there and I look and it wasn't until like the 11th hour that I got a mortgage statement, or it was online. It was available online that indicated that they had indeed received this from the insurance company, because that's why the mortgage expense was going up.
No, okay. So it's already factored in.
Well, yeah.
But they just didn't tell you.
Isn't that great? It's great. I'm like, thanks, guys. You couldn't. Anyway.
Right. Well, it's like this. I didn't get any notice on this. I just had to log in like you usually do to pay the thing online, and then they're like, "Bah!"
And this was after the.
Really fell out of my chair.
This, of course, was after the insurance company had denied my claim. I mean, I'm not sure what the timing of it was in terms of the bid or the rate increase, the renewal increase amount. But they separately had denied that mold. Remember we talked about that, the whole mold thing? Like that was all, of course, they're like, oh, well, no, we don't cover this because it's been here for more than 15 days. Well, yeah, that's why it's a problem. 15 days, that's their cutoff. 15 days. I'm like, how do you discover that you have mold?
Exactly. It's in a wall.
It takes longer than 15 days to become like mold's microscopic. Hey, little secret, just in case you're wondering, mold's everywhere.
Right, you got it right now.
Right, it's up in my nose.
It may be huge,
it's in my hair,
but it's there.
It's on the ceiling. It's on my phone.
I'd like to see him try that.
It's sitting on my bread right now. That's like, even if it's in the package in the refrigerator, there's still mold on it because it's microscopic.
There's yeast floating around too, but I mean,
it could take 15 years sometimes for this stuff to grow. And I didn't want to get into it. The guy's like 15 years old, who comes out.
Screw that guy.
So you're not gonna get into argument with him. But that's
tear him up.
It's these
He's wearing a shirt.
It's like these 17-year-old bean counters who are making these decisions. Like, oh well, the actuary table says 15. But also, no, you're denied. Like,
I got your actuarial table right here.
So it's one of those things where
I like it when you say it.
And then insurance also. I had no intention of talking about insurance tonight, but the other beautiful thing about insurance is that it's like one of the few products where you have to have it. Like you're forced by law to have it.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's home insurance or car insurance. I think as a renter, you don't have to have renter's insurance, but it's advisable to do it. Right. You basically need insurance for all sorts of things.
And that's usually pretty cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have insurance for all these things. And a lot of it you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which most of the time, nearly all of the time, has zero to do with your own behavior. It actually has to do with all the other people out there in the world.
Right.
Right. And not just those
You're
people on their
bill for all
and not
those
those people on their best days, those people on their most unfortunate, unluckiest days. Right? All of the unfortunate souls out there, you're paying for what they've done or experienced. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So you get that. Okay, I got it. It's all baked in, right? Risk profile, blah, 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 blah. Got it. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to use your insurance?
Right. You have to have it, but they don't have to do squat.
If you want to use your insurance. Okay, wait a second. You're like, we're all going to, let me put you on hold. The reason you stay on hold so long when you're trying to do anything with these people is because they have to laugh. They're laughing so hard and for so long that they can't come back to the phone because it would be unprofessional.
Right. Yeah.
So then finally come and they, okay, sir. You want to claim what? Okay. Oh, okay.
You got mold and what we're supposed to pay for that?
Right. So here's the thing. We're gonna send a person out to like take a look at it and everything.
To laugh at you in person.
When can they come out? Oh well, like 7 days from now. Okay.
Right.
So now you can do the math, right? You're doing the count. Like
right.
And whether maybe it's a car thing, or maybe something fell on your roof, or maybe it's insane that you have this product that you have to pay for most of the time by law. It's very expensive. It's not based on anything you have ever done in your life. But if you ever want to use that product, you have to. Not only well
within their rights to tell you to screw off.
And they're going to say, and you know what? Just for trying, I'm going to charge you more.
Raise your rates.
Can you imagine if like cable worked that way?
It's almost like the system's rigged.
Like, okay, I want the option of having Nick at Night, right? Mm-hmm. I don't usually watch Nick at Night. I understand that people like me watch Nick at Night, so maybe one day I'd like to watch Nick at Night, right? But I'm fine with paying to have the option to watch Nick at Night. I understand it's going to increase my cable bill by having a. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Now, one night I happen to be up late. I see that Night Court is on, and I decide I want to watch Harry Anderson, perform a little magic trick from his courtroom throne.
God rest his soul.
And is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Long time.
No. Okay. Anyway, so I'm still gonna go with that. So I'm watching. So I want to watch that. So I go to the channel, and it says call 1-800 blah blah blah. Right. And I'm like, why? Right. I don't understand. I paid for this channel. Right. So no, you have to call, and they say, oh, okay. You want to watch that channel? Let me turn that on. It's going to take like 4 hours potentially for it to like kick in. Like, well, wait, I don't understand. I paid for this channel. Like, I know we realize that, but you haven't been watching the channel, and so now we need to now we have to activate it. It's like, okay, whatever. So then you activate the channel. You finally get to watch Night Court, right? Except it's not the episode you wanted to see because that's gone, right? No. That's gone,
and then it's like fuzzy. It's like static.
And next month you get your bill, and they're charging you more. And you call them and you say, I don't understand. Why did my bill go up? They say, because you watched Nick at Night. You're watching that now. You don't understand. Right. Like, I've been paying for it, but you weren't watching it before.
Right. So all of those months that I didn't watch it, that doesn't count for anything?
This is like insurance, right? Like, it's crazy.
It's exactly like insurance.
Except insurance would say, because you're watching Night Court, we think you're that kind of person, and we're going to charge you even more now.
And imagine if it was big, it was against the law not to have Nick at Night.
Well, not to have, we're going to force you to have the option to watch it.
Right. You have the Nick at Night option.
We actually don't want you to watch it, because if you do watch it, we're going to penalize you.
And in fact...
And everybody else.
You have to have another Nick at Night just in case the person that comes over to your house doesn't also have Nick at Night. That's an Nick at Night visitor coverage.
I just learned this about. I have YouTube TV at home. We cut the cord. Well, we never really had.
Cool.
We cut the cord from. We had DirecTV for Blink when we first moved here, and we got rid of that, and I got YouTube TV. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoy it. I really like it.
Yeah, is it good? I keep seeing ads for it. We're doing the Hulu Live thing, basically the same thing. But
how did you choose? How did you choose?
Well, at the time, that was the one that was the most. I mean, there was Sling, but I already had Hulu. Mm-hmm. I could just bump it up to Hulu Live, and I saw that it had all of the channels that I wanted and local channels. Which I don't even watch, but like live sports and things like that, all of that was covered. And so, that was what some of the other ones didn't have. Is like if I did want to watch like football game or something like that, some of them are like, yeah, we don't do that too much. But YouTube hadn't done their thing yet. They were doing premium. They were doing Red at the time, but they weren't doing the live TV thing yet, I don't think. But I see that they're doing it now.
I picked it up a little over a year ago, I believe, and yeah, definitely more than a year ago. And
Submarine Man, definitely a year ago. Definitely.
I'm an excellent driver.
Wapner's on.
Sorry, I could have used Wapner since we're picking dead people as examples. The People's Court.
People's Court and Night Court.
I don't remember. There's a court thing. Welcome to the courtroom themed, accidentally derivative. Could not decide. It was difficult to decide. And the thing that there were two things that swayed me towards YouTube TV. The first was that I hate the Hulu user interface.
It's really it's gotten a little better, but it's never been not garbage.
I just don't find it intuitive. I feel like the menu system,
things move around all weird.
The menu system's weird. I couldn't really figure out what was what. But the worst part of the user interface system is that the line that indicates which person you're selecting or which channel you're selecting or whatever within the menu, it's over top of the thing. It's over top. It's on top of. So when you're selecting your name, for example, from the list, or and you're highlighting yourself, the line indicating that you're at yourself or at the user that you're choosing is above the word.
Right. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
There's no other interface.
But under or around.
Right.
On top is stupid.
A box or. We've never, as human beings, ever designed an interface that would indicate like, oh, the thing you want. We're actually gonna like. I don't even know what you call it. It's not underline. It's.
I can't think of one that's
overline?
More ridiculous than that.
They don't even have a word for it, and they do it like overline. No, if you say how,
that's not even a thing.
Could you just go through there and overline all the edits you want me to make? I don't know what you mean.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, do the Hulu menu thing. Oh, okay, I got that. So there was that, and then the other thing was that you were allotted a certain amount of DVR space, like in terms of what you could save.
Yeah.
Right? YouTube has unlimited DVR space.
Oh, okay.
You could never run out of room. Like, I mean, I guess they could fill up the Amazon server farm or something at some point, but like it's just unlimited, like theoretically unlimited. So you don't have to worry about, I got to delete this because there's not room for this or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I love the YouTube TV. I like that I can have my own menus. Like I can select out channels. Like I don't have Fox News ever show up in my menu thing. I don't have. There's a lot of sports stuff I also leave out because, frankly, look, I'm Jason. Like it is what it is. Right. Like there's a very limited number of sports. Even CNN. I wipe CNN. I was like, CNN, you're gone because. I'm even ready to knock NBC out and MSNBC out. Like everybody's just annoying me now. And you know what? I don't have to see them anymore. Yeah, I can just highlight it, remove it. I can always add it back if I want. If I want to add Fox back in, I can add it back in. But like, it's a beautiful thing that I can manipulate the menu and move things up. Like I have the Me TV and the TV Land, like all the old stuff, like right up at the top. Yeah. So when I turn the TV on, like that's the first stuff I see. I love that. That
is cool. Yeah.
And if I pull it up on my phone, that'll transfers over to the interface transfers. The personalization transfers over. However, I experienced this the other day. I was in the bathroom, and I promise this won't be TMI. I wasn't in the privy. I was like in the bathroom area. Okay, get your mind out of the gutter. And I was like, I don't know, I was shaving or something like that. And I had YouTube TV going on my phone. Uh-huh. Actually, I was playing it from my phone to my I'm totally bastardizing this whole situation because I'm like playing YouTube TV on my iPhone, but broadcasting it to my little Siri device in the bathroom, so I can have the speakers loud, right?
So, yeah,
it's
just
like
the
it's like one of those little mini HomePod things, right? So it's all sorts of stuff going on. And Michelle comes in and she says, we were watching a playoff game. Like I was listening to the playoff, like one of the football playoff games. Michelle comes in and she says, I got a notification, or like the game shut off. And said there's like too many streams or something like that. I'm like, really? That doesn't make any sense. I said, well, I'll just stop playing this here, and and you can go watch your thing. I'll be finished in a second. I'll be out. So that's what we did. And then I dug a little bit and found that YouTube TV, even though I have this family plan, and with my family plan, I am allowed up to 6 users. Yeah. 6 independent human beings, right, who can have their own profiles and their own menu systems and their own DVR history, like their own like catalog of recorded programs and programs like they want to watch it, they want to record a TV show, whatever, like they can have their own unique thing. Like 6 of those. Mm-hmm. You can only have 3 streams going at any one time.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
dude, in a house with even just 2 people, the chances you're going to run out, you're going to end up overusing the streams is pretty high. Like because if you're in a situation where you like, I want one out there, like I want to go room to room, right? Maybe I want to have it streaming on multiple TVs. Maybe I'm having a party, and so I want like the game to be on like 2 TVs. But once you add like a kid or 2 in,
see that's where it really gets and for them to call that a family plan, I think
that's what I'm saying. It was a family of 3. Like, who are you kidding?
Like we have 3 simultaneous streams on ours, but there's just 2 of us. So I mean, at most we're watching 2.
Right.
But if you got kids,
this is nuts, right? I mean, Netflix. I mean, why can't they go with like the Netflix way, like where you can add, like Alex, he could be on my Netflix account and be in Bellingham, Washington, and watch Netflix, and it's all part of the rules allowed for that. Like I pay the plan to allow for that.
Yeah, you put whoever you want on the plan.
Right. I can't upgrade it though. I can't. There's no way for me to upgrade it to add like an additional
the YouTube
stream
thing,
on. I would literally have to purchase an additional like YouTube account.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Right? That seems nuts. And Hulu,
that is nuts.
Hulu will allow you to add an additional stream. I looked into this. I was like, well, maybe I should switch to the Antichrist version of this, the Overline. And yes, they will allow you to purchase an additional streaming device, but that streaming device has to be on the same network.
Yeah.
So it has to be within the household. So that's fine if you're looking to just add like a television on to something in your house. But if you want the ability to like say take it with you, say you're on a trip.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because I've done that. I've got a Roku stick that I take with me traveling, and it maintains that you can use it traveling, but you have to have logged into Hulu on your home network And at one point it was like you had to log into it like with like like your phone, but that obviously doesn't work because the last time I tried that, it did not work. But I think you have to log in on your home network with the actual thing you plan to take with you, and then that'll be good for 30 days.
Oh my God, that's very complicated.
Because
I'm
it's like, where am I going to stick the Roku stick that I've packed? I got to put it on my own TV and rig that up and go over to it on the TV. How like convoluted is that? And it's just ridiculous. And the thing is with the Roku stick, and they're like, well, you know, if you aren't able to do that, all of our streaming stuff is still available. You just won't get the live thing. But that's not true. It won't even let you log in. It says you're not on your home network. Do you want to make this your home network, or do you want to log out? And then you've got 2 home network changes remaining.
So now you have to take a router with you. Plug the router into your hotel Ethernet port. And
then I got a VPN into my own house.
Well, that's the other thing that drives me crazy is that I want to watch. The whole licensing deals for the locality just drives me crazy that I can't say like, oh, I want to watch local television for this city.
Right.
Like, I just want to switch it to this city. They won't let you do that because of all the rules really in...
Right. Like, you can't see that. You're not cleared for that.
The only way you can do that...
You're from the Orlando area.
The only way you can do that is
Cincinnati.
They used to be able to VPN your way through that problem.
Yeah.
But Google has locked that down now, man.
Yeah, they figured that out.
You can't... Because you can shut off location services on your phone and then turn your VPN on, try to get it that way. And most... Like 99, that'll work for 99% of anything you want to do in terms of like being somewhere else according to the internet, right?
Right.
Google though, man, Google won't even let it function if you have location services turned off. Like, forget it, man. Forget it. And they know where you are. It's Google. They know where you are. Don't try to fool them. They're like, you know what? You want a VPN for whatever reason? That's fine.
Fool, Mother Nature.
But when it comes to telling us where you are, like, come on, man. Come on. Who are you kidding?
We invented telling people where they are.
We know where you are. You don't even think you are where you think you are. We know where you really are. So the only way you can get that, so if I wanted to get Baltimore channels, for example, the only way for me to do that would be to log into my YouTube account, my YouTube TV account from from Baltimore.
Yeah, yeah.
And then register it there.
Exactly. See, that's the thing.
Now it's locked. That baby's locked in. So yes, if I go to visit Baltimore, I can adjust my local programming to show me, like, I want to watch live TV here. It will allow you to do that, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go back to Florida, it's gonna go back. It goes right back to like, oh, I see you're Florida again. Welcome back. Here you go. Here's your Florida channels.
Yeah, yeah.
Have fun with Tampa Bay. I don't want to watch Tampa Bay. Not too bad. That's the other thing. Like, you want to? I'm sorry. You want to watch NFL? You want to watch the NFL? And you don't like. You want to watch the NFL team for some? You need satellite. You have to have a satellite. No. It's not that we don't actually have access to those programs. It's that
we just need
the NFL entered
satellite.
into this like indentured servitude with DirecTV, and so that's prevented anyone everywhere from being able to access those games. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to subscribe to DirecTV to get that? Absolutely no problem. But you have to get a satellite dish. Yeah. We won't let you stream that.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you live you're in a cave and you have no access to the sky, then we'll allow you to stream. But only after we have Bill, who also inspects for mold, come out.
Right.
And determine that you actually do live in a cave.
Mold and satellite guy.
But don't live in a cave and pretend that you don't have mold issues.
Right. We got to get Bill out here as quickly as possible. I also have mold, and I want to watch the stinking Ravens.
It's like I just want to be. I just want to pay. I just want to pay for it. Like, I know we started this complaining about like pay. Like, I just want to pay for what I want. Please, for God's sake, can we live in a market economy? Like, just let me pay my money.
This is what they call capitalism right here.
Yes. I just
This
want
is
to.
what people are like.
Who do I have my money to?
We don't want regulation. Regulation is there to prevent this kind of crap. They're like, stop screwing people.
I got screwed by Disney last week.
Uh-oh.
I'm hoping they'll unscrew me soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, the track record's not good.
Did I tell you what happened?
No, I haven't heard this. How'd they screw you? Is it to do with your pass?
Yeah.
I thought so.
So I, at the risk of going to like PTSD a moment here, okay. A year ago, literally a year ago, or just slightly over a year ago, I renewed my Walt Disney World annual pass.
The Disney World one.
Disney World.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the rest of my family, renewed it. Okay. I bought mine. I did it separate though from everyone else, with the intention of knowing that I was going to, the next time I was in Disneyland, I was going to upgrade it to a Premier Passport.
Right,
I have done this
both
before.
Disney
I've done
World
this
and Disneyland.
I've done this 3 times before, where I had an annual pass for one of the parks. One of the times it was Disneyland. 2 of the other times it was Disney World. And in both those scenarios, I upgraded them when I visited the other parks.
The next time you go to the other one, yeah.
Right. Okay. Each time is a different experience. Each time you get a different length of the rest of your bed. It all depends on the dude working behind the window.
Yeah.
God bless him. A lot of power. It was the reason there's a lot of PTSD involved is because last year when I did this, like 2 weeks, it'll be 2 weeks from now, a year ago. So 2 weeks from now, a year ago, if that makes any sense. I went back to guest services, Disney Springs, which is like the best place to go, frankly, right?
Yeah, it really is. That's where I get, if I have to go to guest services, that's where I go.
So civilized. You put your name on a list, they text you when to come back, or you can go wait inside in the air conditioning. It's so nice, like comfy in there. It's like being in a lodge. It's lovely, right?
Yeah, and nobody's in there complaining that they got wet on Splash Mountain.
No, it's just nice. It's just nice. You're not doing it at the end of your day. And you're not doing it. You're not like missing out on getting on attractions.
Yeah, there's not like 3 people outside going, "Will you hurry up?"
It's fine. I mean, they're sitting on the sofa making those noises, but still,
yeah, that's fine.
So I'm there, and it did take a long time for me to get called on. It's like the DMV still. It's Disney, but it's still like the DMV. So you go up to I go up to the window and I say I want to convert this to a Premier Passport. I want to upgrade it. Okay, they have to, this is when first problem, they open the book. They open a book. They literally pull out like a binder.
A book.
And open the book. It's like, okay.
That's never a good sign.
They don't do this a lot. I get it. And it probably, it is what it is. So they go through the process. They do the thing. They charge me with the money. It's like an extra $1,000. It's basically like an extra $1,000, maybe more than that. Because you're essentially buying.
You're buying 2 annual passes. Yeah.
They don't really give you a break.
Yeah.
You're not getting a break.
You're getting a break by having it be 1 card you have to keep up with other than 2.
Don't think that you're getting a break, right? So
that's your bonus.
So I buy this card. I get this card. That part was pretty straightforward. And I get back home and I realize I look and I go into my Disney Experience app for Disneyland because there are 2 different programs, 2 different apps. I go into the Disneyland one, and it can see that I have like the passport, but I can't activate it for whatever reason. But I go into the Disney World one, and it basically doesn't even know that I have one. It's like something didn't connect, right? But their systems don't really talk to each other at all.
Yeah, it's weird too.
It's like some crazy convoluted secret handshake that happens behind the scenes.
I don't know why they set that up that way.
Man, it's bad. So I went back to guest services 2-3 days before my trip to Disneyland. So now we're at towards the end of February. And I said, here's the deal. This is what's happening. They get the binder out. Like, I'm there at when the place opens. Because it was like, I think it was like 2 days before. Maybe it was like 24 hours before. It was like the last minute. And I wanted to get it done here because I didn't want to have to deal with it when I get to Disneyland.
Because you're going to be there for a limited amount of time. And
right. That was like a
you
quick
want to spend that time. Yeah.
Right. Okay. It took like an hour and a half.
Jeez.
And it still didn't get resolved. But what she was able to do, because it was before all the people out there arrived for work, because it was too early because of 3 hours behind us, she was able to talk to somebody like in the IT department, who then was just told her, oh, I'm sending an email to this person in guest services, like it was a manager there, a supervisor, to like have them do this thing that they have to do behind the scenes to make it work.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, okay. And she's like, and that was it. That's all she gave. That's all I had to go on. Like, you just have to trust us that this email is going, like, this is all going to work. Okay. And I'm telling you, like, every 15 minutes for the next 24 hours, I'm checking. Sure, nope,
yeah,
no.
I would too.
I kid you not. By the time I landed in Anaheim, the Disneyland app was like recognizing it, and it was fine. It just worked, right? Okay. So I go through all of that. So everything's great. I was there on February 28th and February 29th. And then after that, and my intention was to go back like monthly during my trips to California. Yeah. Okay, funny thing happened in the first week of March.
Oh, that thing with the people that getting sick.
The whole, a lot of people dying and stuff.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so like Jason hasn't been back to California since middle of March, as it turns out. Yeah. Oh, also in middle of March, you know what else happened in the middle of March?
What was that?
They shut down Disney World and Disneyland.
Oh, right, they did. They shut them both down.
And you know what else has happened? They never reopened Disneyland.
Yeah, it's still shut down over there.
And I would see my annual pass, like the expiration date on my pass would change, like periodically would jump around. And the most recent one was pushed out to sometime in June. And I was wondered, like, how are they going to handle, like, I don't know what's going to happen, because at some point my Disney World is going to expire, but Disneyland hasn't opened, and I need to get a credit of some sort for that, right? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, maybe I'll be happy if they just credited it towards Walt Disney World. I don't, whatever at this point. Yeah, I'm fine.
Store credit's fine.
Something. Yeah, store credit's
great.
You're going to use it. I love store credit. I love store credit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what is it now? 10 days ago or so? Maybe not even that. Disneyland announces that they're terminating their annual pass program. I mean, not suspending like they did the annual passes here. Like, no. Like, terminating it. Like, we will never have annual passes again. Like, they're going to do some kind of membership thing. They're not really sure what they're doing. These surveys that they're sending out are nutty.
I mean, they're shut down. They don't really have to make a decision yet. But
they're like, and they're like, oh, so anybody who has an annual pass right now, you're now considered to have a legacy pass, and you're like a legacy annual pass member, whatever that means. And so we will still allow you to receive discounts at their stores in downtown Disney in Anaheim. Right? If you want to go to the restaurant.
Is that open?
Oh, it's open. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ish. And that'll run until March 31st, at which point all Disneyland pass holders, all Disneyland APs will terminate. Period. End of story. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm like, I wonder how they're handling the Premier Passport people, the people who have like the button, because that's not the same, right? It's different. It's like you have rights to both parks. Okay. Mm-hmm. I look at I don't know what they're going to do. So I look at my ticket thing online. My expiration date isn't June anymore.
It's March 31st.
It's March 31st.
Yeah.
So now somehow I have lost not just...
You paid $1,000 for a 2-day ticket.
Exactly. I mean, dude, but it's worse than that. It's actually worse. See, that I could at least swallow. Like, it's a glitch in the system. It is what it is. I fell through a loophole. They didn't, whatever. Okay.
Right.
Bad luck, bad timing, whatever you want to call it. What gets me is that, like, everyone else in the universe who had an annual pass to Walt Disney World who purchased it around the time I purchased it. Theirs doesn't expire until June.
Right.
Mine now expires the end of March because I paid an extra $1,000
for your convenience.
And then people were like, "Oh, you should go to guest services." I can't take that. I can't do it, man. I just can't. I can't sit there and wait, because it's going to be painful.
Disney World,
it's so painful.
The Disney World side of that thing also.
Because man.
Because
you know why? Because this is the one time that the systems talk to each other.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now I need to go back and say,
"Can you please disconnect this system? Just send the email in reverse. Like everything go backwards. Right. Like, can we WandaVision? She's like, "Oh no, I want to do." Yes, I need the WandaVision. Where she's like, at the end where she sees like the end of have you watched the WandaVisions?
Oh yeah, I've seen them all.
We're not, no spoilers or anything here, but like at the end of one of those episodes where the beekeeper dude shows up, and she says no, and it
rewinds a bit.
That's what I want. I need a little like no. Separate them out. Just give it. I'm fine. I will eat. I will. Yes. I will gladly, not gladly, but I will reluctantly be fine with having paid $500 per day to go to Disneyland. That was great. Oh, it was a great time.
Good.
I still spent a lot of money. What did I do while I was in Disneyland? Well, let's see. We ate a lot of food at very nice restaurants. Spent a lot of money. Did the dessert party for both World of Color. So that's an add-on. I didn't just show up and get the free World of Color. I paid extra money to have like a few pieces of dessert and World of Color seating.
On top of the $500 that you spent.
And oh, by the way, yes, I also did the dining thing for Fantasmic, so we could get nice seats. Right. So I went there. I was like,
just sit on your butt in the friggin' concrete.
I'm like Disney's like gift, right? Like as much stuff as Chapek likes to talk about, like pass holders not being the great for the business or whatever.
Yeah,
Jason as a pass holder. Jason as a pass holder.
Yeah, I do.
I spend so much money every time I'm in the every time. Because you know me, I bought a beret. Like
you did buy a beret. That's true.
I bought plushes for my friends. Like I can't not buy stuff when I'm in the parks. None of that's in my chart, apparently.
Yeah, they don't care. Sorry. You're screwed, and here's 3 months off of your other one too.
That's what I'm saying. Like I mean, come on, man. I get it. Maybe it's an accounting nightmare to just. So people keep telling me, "Oh, you should just go to guest services," and I think, you know what?
Seems like they would do something about that, but
I don't know that the person there is going to be empowered to actually do anything about it. You know what I mean?
Do they have that particular binder?
I mean, maybe
you don't know
the thing that they can do, because this is what I have noticed.
They have a mimeograph.
This is what those guest relations folks have the power to do. They absolutely have the power when they are like renewing something or upgrading something, changing. They absolutely have the power to change that expiration date. I have seen it happen so many times, both in my favor and not. And so I can so there's always that possibility that I could get them to say, "Oh yes, we'll move it to June," right? Chances that I'll get some kind of credit for the year of Disneyland that I didn't have access is slim to none, because there's the fine print in the announcement that they made.
Oh sure, yeah.
They consider Premier Passport holders to if you had access to any park that you would have had rights to access under that pass, that counts.
Then it's active for those days.
At best, I would have only be getting a credit for the period between March and July. Right.
Yeah.
So even I think it's like a word problem I don't even want to attempt to to do, and I'm hoping that there's somebody else out there who has more energy and resolve to fight the battle for me, and that some memo will get issued and some change will be made and some clarification will be issued that I won't have like, oh, it'll get cleared up. Like, oh, here's how we're going to handle these people.
Mm-hmm.
I have until March 31st.
For this hero to arrive.
I mean, I still love you, Disney. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Sometimes it's hard, though.
And I just, and on behalf of my friends who are desperate to buy annual passes, like my mom, like,
yeah,
come on, man. They just want to get in. They just want to buy stuff. They want to give their money to you.
I don't ever go in there and not buy stuff.
But you just, even buying the pass, like, guys, hey, I have a way that you can make a lot of money. Like, just let people buy their passes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a whole bunch of people want to buy. Like, it blows my mind. It blows. But look, I can get it right now. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Okay, maybe it's a little late. Maybe it's a little late right now. But if it was like a normal day, let's say it was like 5 o'clock or something, I'm gonna go into the app. I'm gonna check dining availability, table for 2, because I'm gonna go out with my buddy Marcus.
Hey,
and
cool.
Let's make it. Let's say it's for tomorrow, because today's pretty much shot in all the parks at this point, right?
Yeah.
And I want it to be dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to dinner. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So let's putting this in here. Okay. I mean, we could even get into California Grill tomorrow if we wanted, at 2 time slots. 2 time slots. California Grill used to be months.
Yeah.
Months, right?
Now,
inside the parks.
in all fairness, you don't need a pass to get there.
No, that's true. How about Le Cellier? We could go to Le Cellier.
Le Cellier, yeah.
At $6.50.
That one used to be one of those that you couldn't get into for.
We could go to Liberty Tree Tavern tomorrow night. I
haven't been in Liberty Tree Tavern in a long time. Let's go there.
We should do that, right?
We
could go to Rosencrown. We have multiple time slots for Rosencrown. And I don't mean like 3 o'clock supper. I mean like 5:40, 6:10, 7:15.
It is kind of funny on those big days when you put in dinner and it's like, well, you want 3:45 or 11:30 at night?
San Angelo Inn.
Thank you.
Tiffin's.
There you go.
Via Napoli. I mean,
almost
this is what I'm saying.
Tempted to say you booked that one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason we can do that is because you're not like we're
not paying for an admission for that. Yeah.
See, Disney, I think, is thinking like, oh, there's not demand for it or something. There is. You're just not letting them in.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of people right now. I can count on 2 hands, like, who want to go, but can't. But the only choice is to get day passes right now.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fine for people who are visiting. I get it. Like, when my in-laws come to visit, we get them day passes. That's what they do.
If you're gonna be in town for 10 days, 10-day ticket. That there you go.
Right.
But
somebody
I'm here
who
365 days a year.
Lives here.
Yeah.
You want them to spend. I mean, even with the Florida, like the 4-day thing where they're spending, I think it was like $50 to $60, the equivalent per ticket or something like that. That's a good deal. It's a good deal. But if they want to go 10 times, spending $600, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
The only way they can make it more affordable is to get like those 10-day things, and like they have to be consecutive days and so forth.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that
it's not.
You didn't have to. You got the 4-day world passport or whatever. You can use it today, 5 months from now, 2 weeks later, and then 2 years later.
But I think that is the kind of system that Disneyland is going to end up going, like this membership thing, where you're going to have a certain allotment of dates, good dates and bad dates, or busy dates or not busy dates, and you're still going to have the park reservation system in play. Although they'll have probably more that you can book at any one, like you can have more than 3 going, which is what we have right now here.
Yeah,
just unnecessarily anxiety drive. Like it gives me so much anxiety about the only having the 3.
Only thing. 3, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes that will happen where Michelle will this happened just last week. I went to go make a reservation for like a planned lunch break a couple weeks out. Like, oh, I want to be in the park. I want to be in this park on that day for this reason.
Right.
Okay. So I go online to make the reservation, and I'm sorry, you don't have enough. You already have 3 outstanding. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it turns out Michelle had made a reservation for me for like Hollywood Studios one day because she was going to plan to be there with somebody, like, and she just wanted me to have the option of dropping by.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do that because I need to know that I can go on this other day. So like,
right.
It's nuts.
It's pretty crazy, and just the fact that you can get these reservations and so far out.
Right. Like Magic Kingdom,
October
October 1st, Magic Kingdom's gone.
October 1st already?
Yeah. Already done. I missed it.
I wish I had gotten it.
I got screwed over.
I missed it too. I missed it too.
And now maybe by that time things will have loosened up enough that they'll let more. There will be more availability.
More capacity.
I don't know.
Whatever, yeah.
I don't know. But I had booked a room.
Oh wow!
For that, because I planned on like that's how into it I was going to be. Like, I'm going to stay on property. I want to be fully immersed in the whole extravaganza, have the experience, right? Even though I live here, even though I have an annual pass, right? Sorry, can't get a reservation. And you know why I couldn't get a reservation when I was because originally when I wanted to get a reservation, I couldn't get it. Because my annual pass expired in June. No, because my annual pass expired in June, and you have to have a ticket.
Like, why am I going to give you a reservation? You're going to have a ticket.
So I was literally going to go buy a day ticket for that day, even though I have an annual pass. Dude, this is how deep the psychosis runs here. Like, or the neurotic, whatever you want to call it. Like, the neurosis runs. Like, I spent $1,000 on 2 days in Disneyland. In addition to my whatever the highest level AP is that you can have here, it allows you to like go into the water parks naked, basically, like that, which you can't do anymore either. Not the naked part, but the water parks. You can't do the naked part either. Right. Well, that's true. You can never, as it turns out, you can never do that. And
to my chagrin,
and I paid for a room for that weekend, and I was going to buy a day pass on top of my annual pass just because I had this expiration thing. Like hanging over me like the sword of Damocles, right?
Right.
Even then, like, oh no, I'm sorry. Those reservations are all gone for that park on that day. I don't know what else you have to do. Like, I don't know. Well, see, I don't know what else I have to do to show to prove my love. I don't know whether I have to stand outside the Contemporary holding up like a boombox.
Well, after they screw you over like this, you just have to keep going.
I mean, I love it. I'm not going to stop. I mean, like, I can't.
Look what we did to this guy, and he's still coming in.
What's the line? I can't quit you.
Yes, that is the line, and your back is indeed broke on this one.
I can't quit you. It's just like, it is what it is, man. I can't do it.
I hear you though. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm not quite to your level, I don't think, but certainly close.
I don't know. I just like that.
It's like being a Cubs fan. Your loyalty and devotion is rarely rewarded.
I know. I'm not even asking for it to be rewarded. I'm really not. I'm just asking to not keep screwed.
Quit hitting me in the face.
I just don't want to be. I just don't want to be stepped on. Could you just please not step on me, please? I just know. I don't mind being at your knees. Please don't step on me. Anyway, so that happened.
Yeah. That's a no good.
But I feel like we've been really negative.
Yes, it's been kind of a downer, this one.
I don't want to be so. I don't want to be so negative. I don't like negative.
Are the new listeners gone yet?
Oh, you still think there's listeners? You're funny. You're funny.
But so we had a pin.
We've had lots of pins.
But we had one that we were supposed to do last week, but we didn't do. I think we got off on some random tangent, like that never happens.
Is this the stickers?
This would be what is it? The little kid in the sticker bush.
Yeah, I don't think.
Which I think
I
sounds
feel like that's
amazingly good. like sort of the lackluster follow-up album to Elton John's "Madman Across the Water."
This is not going to be a redemptive story, though. That's like, okay. Here's the thing.
Okay.
When I must have, at most, I was 4 years old.
At most,
4 years old, possibly 3. And I know this because this event happened, kind of on the side of my yard or in the backyard-ish of this house where we lived, until I was about 5. And shortly before my younger brother was born, my birthday's in May, his is in December. We moved to a different house before he was born, so I know it happened. It had to happen before I was, there's always a possibility I was 5, and I don't know. I was really young, no older than 5. I think it was probably more like 4. Anyway, there was this kid who lived next door. There was like this little townhouse. It was kind of a weird cul-de-sac situation, like creepy even. And yeah, really great. At some point, I'll tell you some of the ghost-ish stories about that place. And this kid lived next door. He was younger than me. He was like, I can remember, like, he was the little kid. Here I am,
right?
My 4-year-old, like, this little kid lives next door. So he was probably 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy young. Okay, and I say crazy young. You're gonna understand why I'm saying crazy young in a second.
Okay.
So we were out backyard, and I think we had these rose bushes of some sort, or some kind of bush, probably some flowering bush that had those, like, well, we called them sticker bushes, but they were like thorns. It's like a bush with thorns, right?
Sure.
We called them sticker bushes. I don't know what you call them.
I think we did too.
I don't know why, because they stick you, I guess. And I don't remember why, but at some point I had a moment where I decided I was going to execute a power play. And so I pushed the kid into the sticker bush.
No.
Let me just pause here for a second. Like,
okay.
I'm telling you this, and this happened. I'm 47 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
at most, I was 5. So this happened
a while back.
Potentially, like, the most recent possible date was 42 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, because no, it had to be even before then. It would have been probably like 43, or I mean, it's crazy amount of time ago. Okay, so I'm telling you the story, and every time I even just think about this event, I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach, like I feel horrible.
Like total guilt. Yeah.
Like the worst possible guilt.
No.
Ever. Like what I call Mother May I guilt, which I can explain in a second too.
Okay. Please do.
It's the other thing that happened at that same house.
So, oh Lord.
Yes, dude, tough childhood. So I'm standing and like I pushed this kid in the sticker bush.
Okay.
I honestly could not tell you why, other than I'm being an
nice work, pal.
So I pushed him in the sticker bush, and he just stands back up. Like no reaction at all.
Well, I kind of Terminatored you on that one.
I push him in again.
He's like, wait a minute. I did not get the desired result.
That's exactly right.
Try
I push
again.
him in again. He stands back up. No reaction. I pushed him in again. A third time. This little kid into the sticker bush. I knew what I was doing wasn't right. Like there's no... I was
if you're
trying...
going to feel guilty about it, you want the thing to happen.
I was trying to hurt this kid.
Yeah.
He stands back the third time. He kind of gets back up out of the sticker bush. Again, no reaction other than this time he turns and he walks back to his house. No comment. Wow. Not a comment, not a cry.
You thought you were doing the power play. It was him the whole time.
He walks and I don't even have I don't know that I ever even saw him again. Like I don't even know if this kid was real. Now that I'm saying it, like it may not he may not even have existed. But
hey, Ma, I pushed the kid across the street in the sticker bush. Across the street.
There's no one ever lived next door
to us. That house has been abandoned for 300 years.
But so it's like there's like this thing. It haunts me. This moment haunts me. Like this because I will never be able to apologize. Even if I could. Even if I found him through some long discovery process, right? He would probably be like,
you did what?
Okay. Like whatever. I don't.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, you're a weirdo.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like.
And then you turn around and he's gone.
Like what? Right? What are the chances that'll be like? Oh, thank you. Oh, you know what? I've been reliving that every day of my life for 43
you walk in,
years.
He's like, you.
I don't know what it is about you, but it's something I don't like. Something I don't trust.
I know you.
I feel like the urge just to turn and walk away. Yeah. And I had this deep guilt. Similar to what I call the Mother May I guilt, which is this is front yard, same house, front yard, playing Mother May I, literally with my mother, which is, you know.
Meta.
Yeah, right. And my brother, my older brother, my younger brother wasn't born yet, right? My older brother and his
younger brother has missed out on a lot of stuff, apparently.
He really has. He doesn't have nearly a traumatic enough experience. And so then my older brother had a friend with him, and they were playing Mother May I. And I remember I was playing with, I had lemonade. I had this like cup of lemonade. We were playing Mother May I, and like this whole thing, and you know, God love my mother, but she was trying to be fair. But there's no way, unless you're flipping a coin. Yeah. There's no way. It's like playing chess against yourself. You can't. You're going to favor, so you have to. The game has to end at some point.
Right.
The problem is that when you're dealing with like a younger than 5-year-old person, it's all about forward progress. Mm-hmm. If you've ever played Candyland, right, with a 4-year-old, and they have to go backwards on the board. Yeah,
it's like literally the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
It's not a fun thing to see, right? So we're playing this Mother May I thing, and I guess maybe I had advanced too much, or I don't know. This is where I still feel the anger. This stuff. It's like it's still part of who I am. Let that be a warning. Let that be a warning to all of you. So I'm standing there.
I think some of us already knew this. For some of us, this story is no surprise.
She says, here's the thing.
I knew it was something like that.
Here's the thing with Mother May I. The deal, everybody knows the rules, right? Like the rules are, like if the person doing it says, you know, take 3 steps forward, you know, and you just take 3 steps forward, you have to go back. You have to go back 3 steps because you didn't say Mother May I, right? So what you do is they say take 3 steps forward, and you say Mother May I, and they say yes, you may, and then you take your 3 steps, right? That's how it works. Yeah. Well, she would introduce all sorts of other things, like, you know, take like 2 Superman steps or like whatever. Like she's really into it and everything. But at some point, she instructs me to take like 3 steps backwards.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, like, this isn't fair. Like, there's no, like, I'm screwed either way with this one. And I'm sure I didn't think screwed in my head, but like, I'm thinking, like, there's injustice. I just sense injustice.
You can hold Joe
Speaking
Pesci
of Superman, like, I'm sensing injustice.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I did. I don't know if I said, "Mother, may I?" And then I tried to go forward. She's like, "I know you got to go." I don't know. I just remember getting so angry. I didn't just storm off. No. I took my lemonade and I turned it upside down.
Oh.
And I dumped it out into the yard. And then I walked inside. I still feel horrible about it. And you know what I feel horrible about? I feel horrible about dumping the lemonade. For some reason, out of all the things, it was the symbolism of dumping the lemonade that made, because it was like, she made me this lemonade. And
right, I know.
Like, it was this great insult.
I almost feel sad about that.
It was probably like, the mix.
Some country time or whatever, yeah.
Like somebody pressed the lemons. I just picked those lemons from the orchard this morning.
Right, but it was made with love.
That was the last bit of sugar we'll have for the rest of the month. No.
It's rationing. What are you talking about? It's 1978.
Oh, they were rationing, but it wasn't rationing sugar. It was like gasoline they were rationing back then. But still.
In 78?
No, not in 78. No.
Where did you live, dude?
Well, they did ration the whole oil embargo and I know that was more like 73, 72. I don't know. Anyway, so that happened. I guess in some ways I did. In some ways, I should have seen this coming with the pass thing. I should have seen.
Yeah.
Like it really. Finally,
the universe is like, remember the lemonade?
It's finally come.
March 31st is your date, buddy.
That's right.
Time to pay the piper. Karma is patient.